If your accountant has ever told you to cut back on professional development or slash your teacher appreciation budget or your staff development budget just so you could stay afloat, or has told you, hey, you probably can't go invest in that program, please listen. The problem is not that you're spending too much money on your people or yourself or your investment or your support system. It's that your school has invisible money leaks that are draining your profit, leaks that no spreadsheet will ever catch or accountant. So I created the 6 money leaks of schools that show you the 6 core areas that schools lose money every single month without realizing it. If you close even one of them, your profits will start to soar without sacrificing your team. Go get it now and stop blaming the things that are actually building your school.
Welcome to the Schools of Excellence podcast, where we transform everyday leadership struggles into powerful legacies that impact generations. I'm your host, Chanie Wilschanski, a 20-year veteran of school leadership who has helped hundreds of school leaders achieve what many thought was impossible through our signature programs, School Leadership HQ and Enrollment Engine. With our battle-tested frameworks and blueprints, leaders have achieved 90% parent retention, 50% less staff turnover, 15% improved profit margins, and increased enrollment by 25%. My mission is simple: to revolutionize school leadership by elevating the skills, the habits, and mindset of passionate leaders ready to create lasting change. Join me as we build your legacy of excellence, one transformative conversation at a time. Welcome back to the Schools of Excellence podcast. Today, I'm talking about 3 money truths that every school leader must face in 2025. Okay. These are not myths or traps these are truths. Okay. If your classrooms are full and you've kind of spent a lot of the time over the last couple months hiring, you basically have a pretty solid team in place. You've got your calendar, you've got your events, what's going on. But underneath, you're kind of still asking, why does it feel like we're barely making it? Why is there still no breathing room financially, emotionally, mentally? So that's what this conversation is about, because you are not doing anything really wrong, okay? What you're experiencing is the feeling. There is a feeling that comes when you've hit the ceiling of survival success. I'm going to say that again. There is survival success. I'm going to talk about that, okay? And the feeling of survival success is not loud. It does not announce itself like a crisis does, okay? It comes in so quietly. It's like a slow suffocation in the form of decision fatigue, money leaks, and this just constant low-level lingering sense of relief is just out of reach. Ease is just out of reach. And the truth is, 2024, okay, taught you how to stabilize. 2025 is asking for something way deeper. Not more hustle, not another Band-Aid fix, not more strategies. It is asking for rhythm, for clarity, for ease, for sustainability, for predictability. I'm going to walk you through all these things, okay? So today I'm going to really walk you through the 3 financial truths that you must face as you wrap up 2025 in this last 5 months of the year. And these truths are not here to shame you, because I don't shame people. These truths are not here to scare you. These truths are here to help you hold up a mirror to what is actually going on beneath the surface. Because in an episode that I did a couple weeks ago that we got so much feedback from, people loved the episode on what you tolerate in August is what you'll be cleaning up in February. And what you tolerate in your financial systems will quietly shape how your team runs, how you function, how your leadership feels, all the things. Okay? So, what are the 3 truths? 1, 2024 bought you time, not stability. It bought you time because survival does that. It will buy you time, but it will not give you stability. A lot of leaders made very smart and very well-intentioned moves in 2024. They cut costs, they filled more seats, they raised tuition. But here's the truth. Those things bought you time. They were survival sprints. They were not long-term strategic decisions. And so that is why we're midway through 2025, okay? And guess what you're feeling? You're feeling the cracks reappearing again. Staff are burning out again. The budget feels tight again. And there's no clear next move. And you're like, why am I here again? Why? And then you don't look deep enough for the why. You're just like, we got to double down more. We got to do this more. I didn't explain it enough. I need a better system. I got to go buy this new tech thing. Oh my God, there's a new software that's coming out. It's going to change my life. It's the magical potion. It's the magical Ozempic of childcare. It's not. It's not. You are hitting the ceiling of Band-Aid growth. I'm going to coin this term, Band-Aid growth. Because here's what Band-Aid growth does, okay? It gets you through the next moment. But strategic growth doesn't get you through the next moment. It builds predictable rhythms that you could return to. So I'm going to give you some examples of Band-Aid growth versus strategic growth, okay? Band-Aid growth is a one-time tuition increase. Sounds good, right? Oh, we raised tuition. Now we can breathe until you start suffocating again. Strategic growth is a predictable tuition planning system that includes periodic times on the calendar that you review the market, the positioning, the messaging to know when you have to raise tuition again. So Band-Aid growth is we raise tuition. Strategic growth is we raised tuition and we created a predictable tuition planning system. That's completely different. Here's another Band-Aid growth. Emergency hiring. I just hired the most amazing admin team. There are 3 people. I have this. I have my curriculum corner. I've got my enrollment specialist. I got my this. I got my that. You've got the plethora of all the titles in the world. And you're like, relief is coming. It's coming. I hired everyone. It's coming. And then it doesn't. Strategic growth is there's role clarity for every person that you hire. And there's a hiring pipeline with real accountability, not fake accountability, not performative accountability, real accountability that provides real relief for you, not fake relief. Here's another example of Band-Aid growth. We tighten expenses. We cut all of our professional development. I stopped going to events. I stopped going to coaching. I canceled all my coaching programs. I did this. I am so responsible. I cut so much expenses. I'm like an amazing leader. Band-Aid growth. Here's strategic growth. You have a long-term efficiency strategy. You actually have time on the calendar where you review financials. You don't make panic cuts and panic pivots. You actually look at what is driving the growth and you know how to sit in the discomfort of momentary pain. That's strategic growth. Band-Aid growth. You filled every classroom. Classrooms are full. We are at 100% capacity until you're not. Strategic growth is optimize space usage. You're constantly reassessing your space, your schedule efficiency, your space optimization, and you do that through our money leaks. One of the ways. We do it in a lot of ways. One of the strategies is through money leaks. So here's the thing, okay? When you see old cracks reappear and burnout starts to rear its ugly head again, and your chest feels tight because the numbers feel tight, it's not because you failed, my dear that is listening. You did not fail. You are outgrowing Band-Aid growth. You're outgrowing patchwork. It's like, we're done. We're done with patchwork. We're done with Band-Aid growth. We're done with survival growth. I would like real strategic growth, please. Please serve that up for me. Coming right up, dear. You're done with patchwork. That is a truth. That is the first truth. 2024 bought you time, not stability. And now you're in 2025 and you'd like real growth and real stability. Okay. Second truth in 2025. Fear is not frugal. It's actually quite expensive. You raised tuition last year and you needed to, and it worked. But it didn't feel good. You got pushback, you got awkward conversations, people were second guessing you, parents pulled out. And now in 2025, you're like, we have to raise tuition again. What if we lose families? What if they stop trusting us? So 2024, most leaders that made tuition increases were very reactionary. Was a response to inflation, to minimum wage hikes, all the things. Here's 2025, guys. You cannot avoid raising rates because last year's increase was really hard for you. This year is not just about inflation, guys. It's about value. It's about clarity. It's about leadership identity. And if you're going to have fear, it's not frugal. It's going to cost you a lot. And the challenge with this and why we mask our fear as being frugal, because you're actually afraid of being perceived as greedy or disconnected from reality if you raise tuition again. And the reason I know that you're feeling that is because I actually talk to people like you. I probably had a conversation with you at some point, or maybe not. Maybe you're just been an active listener of the show, and thank you for giving me your time and attention every week. It's scary to rock the boat. You hesitate, and you do it for long enough that you actually start to convince yourself that you're being responsible, but you're not. Because if you don't build a tuition strategy that has clear messaging, smart timing, parent education, you'll always stay trapped in fear-based pricing. And that's going to cost you because your school's going to go under. You have to match it. So second truth, fear isn't frugal. It's expensive. Last truth, delayed investments are invisible debt. So you know how when you start making money, you start looking for like, where do we invest? Do we get a life insurance policy? Do we go invest in the stock market and the S&P? Do we do a Roth IRA? There's all different kinds of investments. But one truth always remains the same. You don't just keep money in the bank, right? Money sitting in the bank is a crime. You need the money to go be working for you. Now, yes, you need cash, but you also need your money working for you, okay? So here's what happens with a lot of leaders, okay? You have money in the bank, but you're kind of observing enrollment and you're like, let's just wait a little longer. You delay investments because you think you're protecting your cash, but you're not, because delayed hires actually gets your team even more exhausted and is a huge predictor of turnover. When you delay system upgrades, you are like hemorrhaging money on manual tasks. When you hold off on building automation, you can't scale or even have any kind of rest. And so there's the challenge with this one. It doesn't show up in QuickBooks. It doesn't show up with your accountant. It doesn't show up with your bookkeeper. It doesn't show up with your tax strategist. It's in your breath, in lost time, in your sleep, in stalled growth, in the pressure of doing everything yourself. Guys, cash hoarding, it's not leadership. It's not. You need cash. Cash is king. Definitely need cash. And you need 3 to 6 months of expenses, ready in liquid cash. But if you're not making strategic investments, you're accumulating debt. Because, again, I know this is landing in your bones. And I know if you're listening to this, you're like, yeah, I've delayed a lot of investments, or you've paused investments, or whatever it is. And the reason that we pause these investments is because our bodies are like, I need relief somewhere. And so we turn to the place where we feel like we can get the fastest relief, which is, let me just stop this payment, and let me stop this payment, and let me stop this payment. But that's not where relief comes from. It's Band-Aid relief, but it's not where the real relief comes from, because the pressure isn't coming from the fact that you're paying for support or for mentorship or community or whatever it is you're investing in. It's the relief is actually coming from there. The pressure is coming because you're still doing everything, because you're still at the center of everything, because every decision still comes back to you, because you're still the person waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, because you're tracking and forecasting and anticipating and thinking through every single thing and you keep asking yourself, why am I the only person that notices? How come no one else notices this? How do I have a special set of eyeballs? Like, why am I the only one that sees this? So the reason why these are the truths that you're facing in 2025, it's not because you did anything wrong, okay? It's because the ground is shifting again. The ground is shifting again. And every time the ground shifts, every time something changes, the first thing the high achieving, high functioning leader does is says, I just need another system. I just need an SOP. I just need another process. I just need this. I just need that. I just. You don't need anything. You don't need to do anything more. You don't need any extra stuff. Okay? You need a predictable rhythm that you return to again and again and face the reality that there is no such a thing as I built it and now I never have to look at it again. Nothing. It doesn't matter if you built your onboarding and spent 20 grand on the most amazing onboarding process. Eventually, you're going to have to upgrade it. Eventually, you're going to have to shift it because the market changes, because people change, because the environment changes, because society changes. And we get frustrated when we have to change it. Like, oh, I just did this. Stop fighting the reality. That's why I said these are truths. Most of you build systems and everything for great days, not real ones. Not real ones. So I'm going to leave you with this. These are the 3 money truths. I'm not giving you a next step because you don't need that. You don't need more to-do lists. I hope that today's conversation gave you clarity, gave you a moment to see yourself, and just sit with that. Don't rush to action something. If you feel aligned and you want to go take action and you want to have a conversation, by all means. But sometimes the next move is not making a move. It's just sitting and let it land in your body. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. And I'm kicking off a new series next week, the 6 money leaks. I'm going to walk you through the 6 money leaks of private schools that quietly drain your profit. And I'm going to show you what to do about them. All right. Thanks for joining me.
If you are loving the Schools of Excellence podcast and have gotten any value out of it for your school, I would love if you can do 2 things for me. 1, subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And 2, can you please leave us a review? Reviews help other school leaders know that this is the place to learn how to build a school of excellence. And I would be so grateful if you can do that for us. Your help and support makes this show to be able to be listened by the thousands of other school leaders all around the world. Thanks so much for listening, for giving us your time and attention each and every week, and I appreciate that you have joined us. We had a client that we worked with, and she was really struggling with profitability. She kept raising tuition. She actually did 3 tuition increases within a 15-month cycle, and she still could not catch up. So I helped her work with our 6 money leaks in schools, and she only used 3 of the 6 money leaks and cut her expenses by 50%. 50. She did not fire anyone, she did not slash any of her programs, and she did not work more hours. Again, the 6 money leaks are not hacks or spreadsheets. These are patterns. They are small decisions that feel so normal that your school does, but they quietly drain your school's profit. So if you've ever wondered why you're working so hard, but still not seeing the return, this is your first step to clarity. Click the link in the show notes and find out what it's actually costing you.